Hey guys, this is April, and I am the owner of Big Blue Dog Soaps, and I thought I would just give a little longer video today. I'm making what I call Mod Squad soap. Kind of reminds me of the 60s rainbow colors, and who doesn't love that? I'm gonna let the regular audio go in the background a little bit because you can kind of hear Joe, African Gray. He's kind of funny, and he actually acted decent and didn't say any bad words, so I'll just kind of hum along and give you a few tips and tricks along the way. And this soap technique's a little advanced, so I thought I would just, say a few things here and there. This is not a, tutorial how-to, but I can give you some. This is just how I do it, it's not set in stone or anything, what works for me. So if you'll notice, I am just pulsing the batter. I am not, metal to the pedal, and very minimal, mostly hand blending. I do recommend a high liquid oil soap formula or recipe. And I'm only taking this to emulsification, as you can see. And always try to pour your liquid, your lye, down the stick blender. That way it doesn't get many bubbles in it. So I'm just going to divide it off. I've got purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red for the rainbow colors. I think I ended up doing about a cup. Yeah, I'm kind of messy. Sorry. I ended up doing about a cup for each color. I initially was going to have a white layer in between each of the color layers, but after making my batch and evening out all the soap batter, I really didn't have enough to actually have a decent white line in between all of the colors, so I just went all colors. So I'm just dividing it out a little bit more evenly. And that's my puppy dog Diesel in the background. He's here in the office with me. And if this gets redundant, I will most definitely speed it up a little bit. I just kind of wanted to slow things down and show you my process. A lot of my videos, I just, throw in some music and speed it up because I know people get bored of the same old thing. But this one was kind of I always enjoy showing different techniques and stuff. So the ones I don't do a whole lot of are the more unusual ones. I like to slow the process down, so maybe it'll help if I can show a way to do it. Maybe it can help other people get it done, or inspire them to try something a little bit out of the box themselves. The ones that have never tried anything a little bit more advanced, take a chance, have some fun with it. Make you a small batch, say a 1 pound batch, and have some fun with it. You could even try with just using an olive oil base, just Castile soap. That's about the best, what I call play recipe there is. I mean, it takes forever to trace. This is my normal recipe. I did use a water discount, but I'm used to it. I know what it'll do and how long it takes to get there. So, and you will notice I don't stick blend my micas. I just don't. I think it helps speed trace, makes it thicker. Even when you're working with a really good fragrance oil that doesn't speed trace, I still think stick blending more makes it trace quicker, so I don't recommend it. Takes a little bit longer, but it's not a big deal, you know. Have some fun with it. Give yourself plenty of time. Don't get in a rush, you know. Give yourself plenty of time to have fun and experiment, you know. Because if you get in a rush and you've got the kids home, or you know you've got appointments to make, you're gonna rush and you're gonna do things the shortcut way, and you're gonna have problems with it. It's never worked out for me when I've tried to rush. So, just another little tip. And I'm still sorting through boxes, so I don't have my freezer paper laid down. Usually it's nice and white and not as dinged up looking. My poor old tables had it. So I apologize. I'll find it eventually. The yellow color is Yellow Raincoat by Mad Oils, which is in the back there. And the blue is Klein Blue by Nurture Soap Supplies. Love that color. I use it a lot. It's just a good basic, I would call it a rainbow blue. Let's see. And I always try to mix it in oils. And I use the oil that is from the recipe. I don't add any extra oils. All my super fatting is included in the recipe. So I just take a dropper out of the oils before I add the lye to it. Make up my oils, get everything prepared, get everything set ahead of time. That way you're not rushing to find this and rushing to find that. I'm actually not scenting this recipe. I do have a lot of customers that like unscented soap, so I thought, well, most of them are plain white and boring, so I thought I usually have a couple of colored ones. And this is my neon green colorant from Mad Oils. Love that company. The girls are really cool. They always send me little samples and candy and all kinds of stuff. It's practically bribing for their, for their business, but candy sways me. I'm easy like that, so. And like I said, once again, hand stirring is probably the biggest factor in keeping things fluid. As long as you've got it emulsified, it's going to saponify fantastic. There's no reason to worry. I'm hoping to get me a softbox eventually for the lighting, because I only have one window in the room and it's just really taking a toll on the lighting. I'm having to adjust it in my video editing software and it's just not working out. I'm really not happy with the lighting, but I'm going to get that fixed as soon as I can, because I really enjoy making my YouTube videos. I enjoy being involved in the soaping community and helping others and learning from others. Everyone has helped me so much in the soaping community. I love Soaping 101 Study Hall. I feel like even if you're a seasoned veteran, you can always learn something else. I love learning. This is my neon colorant pigment from Mad Oils. And the thing to remember about pigments is it's always a good idea to let the oil soak into the pigment so it can absorb the oils. They tend to be a little bit harder to mix, so you have to be patient and make sure you have enough time set aside, before you get everything set up. Have them ready to go by the time you get your soap poured out, because you don't want to have to fool with mixing the little bits that haven't gotten mixed in, and dragging the little latte frother back out, having to do that over. So just keep in mind they're a little bit harder to work with as far as mixing and incorporating, but they make fantastic colors. And that's my Really Red mica from Nurture Soap Supplies. Love it. I absolutely love it. It is a true red. I actually have, no, I think I've used that straight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used that straight red, because it's a really great primary red color. And my recipe's doing beautifully. It's taken me a long time to find a recipe that I'm happy with. Lots of batches, lots of failed batches, lots of great batches, lots of tweaking, lots of taking out, lots of adding, lots of experimentations with different oils and different quantities. It just takes time. You'll find exactly what you're looking for. My advice is to make sure you understand what each soap does, what qualities you want, what qualities you're looking for in your perfect bar, and notice what qualities your customers enjoy about the bars, and try to make a great compromise. And that is good old Purple Vibrance from Nurture Soap Supplies. I love it. It doesn't give a weird gray cast. It doesn't look blue. It's just good old purple. So another thing to keep in mind if you're wanting to do a true rainbow type of pour, whereas you want your, you remember in school the PBGYR, if you want it to look that way, you have to remember to pour the sequence backwards. So you would actually start with the bottom color and then work your way up to the top if you want the purple to be at the top, if that makes sense. And I always keep my colors in the order that I want to use them, and I put them back in the order that I want to use them, so I don't get confused, I don't get lost. It's easily done. Especially when you're making swirls. Now normally I have something to rest my mold on, so I'm not sitting there trying to hold it and guide the soap down the sides and all that jazz. But I couldn't find anything to use at that particular moment, and it was ready to go. So it's just another word, just another word about having everything in place. Just like you're cooking a recipe, in the kitchen. You want everything near you so you don't forget anything, nothing gets moved or altered or changed. It's all there for you. That's, in my opinion, that's half the battle and challenge of soap making, is having everything available and know what you got to do and know how you got to get there. So when you're doing this pour, you always try to pour down the side of the mold itself. Some people actually use an insert, like any kind of divider or just a piece of cardboard or anything that would, and I'm just gonna, I end up spilling a lot of this, but I'm trying to pour blind. The cup is in the way. Usually I can maneuver it in a way. That's the whole thing of having a camera watching you, is you can't really see what's going on from the other side of the cup. I don't have a really good view myself. So a lot of people think it's easier to use something to pour off of, like a divider or something like that. Just try to pour it slowly and evenly. Ah! My batter is fluid, so I'm happy. Can't have it all sometimes. Sometimes soap bacon's messy. So like I said, I am going backwards. I'm starting the backwards way of the rainbow. Just giving it a little shake to make sure there's no graininess in it. Golly Bill. What a mess. I'm telling you, those flexible cutting boards are the bee's knees. I sure am making a mess on my soap mold, but get that cleaned up and then just move that out of the way and throw it in the sink. That green is so awesome. It reminds me of the 80s. And as your batter fills up the mold, you're going to have less and less space to pour off on the side. I don't know if you can tell or not, but it gets a little tricky toward the end. So you just have to be patient. Try not to get in too much of a hurry. Otherwise, you'll be making even more of a mess than I have, if you could believe that. Call me me crazy, but watching these types of videos, especially with the colors and how fluid everything looks, it's very therapeutic and relaxing to watch. Um, I watch soap videos not only for the technique, but just to kind of zone out, you know, be inspired, and I guess I could be called a real soap geek. I eat, live and breathe soap. My husband gets so tired of watching these videos at night. He makes fun of me and talks about all the noises the stick blender makes, and he's trying to sleep, and he just says it in fun, but and that's the last layer there.